The richest person in the world, Jeff Bezos, has a net worth of $180 billion. Kylie Jenner has a net worth of $1 billion. But what does this number really mean? How do we even calculate it? And why is it so important? We're answering all these questions today, so let's get rolling.
Hey everyone, welcome if you're new here, and welcome back to our amazing subscribers who are on this journey of conquering finances with us. So far, we've introduced the ideas of saving, investing, and retirement planning. But how do you know if you're on track with all this? Two words: net worth. If you want the TLDR, it's your assets minus your liabilities. Okay, I guess we're done here?
No, wait. There's actually a lot more to it. The hard part is actually gathering all your financial documents and separating assets from liabilities. What counts as an asset? Anything that has financial value. This could be your house, car, cash, investments, or an art collection if you're really bougie. A liability is basically any debt that you owe. This could be your mortgage, car loan, or credit card debt.
I think it's easiest to understand if we walk through an example. Jane is 30 years old. She owns a house worth $300,000 but still owes $150,000 on her mortgage. Her 5-year-old car is only worth $8,000 now, but it's all paid off. She has $20,000 in her investment account, $2,000 in credit card balances, $4,000 in her savings account, and $25,000 remaining on her student loans. Now let's split them up into assets and liabilities. Her house value, car, investments, and savings go under the assets section, adding up to $332,000. Her mortgage, student loans, and credit card balance go under the liabilities section, adding up to $177,000. By subtracting her liabilities from her assets, her net worth would come out to be $160,000.
This is how Jeff Bezos got to a net worth number of 180 billion. Of course, a large percentage of this is from the Amazon stock, which has been on fire lately. To put this number in perspective, a TikToker recently recreated his entire wealth using only grains of rice. It's insane to think that 90% of people don't even make 10 grains in their entire lifetime. Wow, a TikTok video that's actually worth watching? Now I've seen everything.
Net worth is your single most important financial metric. But why does it matter so much? Well, there are a bunch of reasons. It's a precise measure of wealth. Wealth is basically what's left behind after all your bills have been paid, which is exactly what your net worth references.
It helps track year-over-year progress. Both of us work in data science, so we're firm believers in the saying that what gets measured gets improved. And it makes all the difference in the world to see the progress that you're making plotted out in a chart.
It also helps you look beyond your income alone. Most people get caught up with how much money they're making, but it's your net worth that's the real measure of wealth. For example, somebody who has a high income could have a low net worth if that person spends recklessly.
Just a quick reminder, if you're enjoying this so far, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more interesting content.
Okay, now that you understand why it's so important, how do you actually go about tracking it? Let's get the most cumbersome method out of the way first, good old-fashioned spreadsheets. You can manually keep track of your assets and liabilities and run a formula that outputs your net worth. Another way that's sort of similar is going to Google and typing in net worth calculators and pulling up websites like NerdWallet or Kiplinger. Here you just enter all of your information and it does the calculations for you.
The easiest way to do this, especially if you're just starting off, is to use budgeting apps like Mint or Personal Capital. Once you've linked all your accounts together, you can track your spending, investments, and debt in addition to your net worth. It's good practice to track your net worth at least once a year, but if you're a little obsessed like me, then do it once a month. My goal each month is just to increase my net worth over the previous month. Don't get disheartened because there may be a few fluctuations, but as long as you're sticking to solid principles, you should see this number increasing over time.
People have different salaries, goals, and obligations that they need to take care of. So not everyone has the same net worth at a given age. However, I've always found it useful to have guidelines, so here are the net worth targets based on age.
When you're in your 20s, it's perfectly normal to have a negative net worth. Student loans, low salaries, and taking time off to decide what you really want to do are some common reasons. But as we grow older, we start to understand our spending habits, risk tolerance, and the power of compounding. By the age of 65, most people have about 10 times their annual salary saved up.
These are targets for the average person. If you want to get to targets for people doing well in life, I would just double all of these numbers. So that would mean at age 30, you'd have a net worth equal to 2 times your annual salary. And that would lead up to a net worth of 20 times your annual salary at age 65.
After looking at these numbers, don't be disheartened if you feel like you're behind. Just the fact that you're taking more responsibility towards your finances by watching this video will have you back on track in no time. So how do you actually go about improving your net worth? The formula is made up of 2 elements. So there are only 2 ways that you can do this. Either increase your assets or decrease your liabilities. Or both.
The most straightforward way that you can grow your assets is by increasing your income. This would involve either negotiating a higher salary at your current job or finding new sources of income like rental units or freelancing. The more income you have, the more you have to save, invest, and grow.
Trim your expenses. Create a budget to see where you're overspending and how you can cut back. You don't realize it, but a few dollars here and there can add up to a pretty big amount over time if you don't stay on top of it.
Invest wisely. Don't let money just sit around in checking accounts and put it to work for you. Take advantage of retirement accounts and buy and hold index funds. Over time, this can grow into a pretty nice nest egg for the future.
On the other hand, there are some steps you can take to reduce your liabilities too, like avoiding unnecessary borrowing. Taking out big loans for expensive vacations or extravagant weddings may not be the best idea.
Create a smart debt payoff strategy. For example, paying down a low-interest mortgage early may not make as much sense as paying off credit card debt, which is known for its astronomical interest rates.
At the end of the day, calculating your net worth is not for the sake of judgment or comparison. It's about knowing where you stand, taking ownership of it, and finding ways to move forward. If you don't know what your net worth is today, the best thing you can do right now is to pull up a budgeting app and do a really quick check. Regardless of whether it's positive or negative, it's important to track it and practice these good financial habits.
If you have any questions for us, let us know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching another video with us. We'll see you next time.